Gakuya. Furuhashi is unbeaten in 11 fights since 2016, and Dre, his jacket game is on point as he comes in with the mix of Flappers 1920 fashion mixed with shag carpet from the 1970s.
You better be able to fight, and you better be able to fight great on the night when you come in with a coat like that.
Absolutely. Ooh, he takes a nice jab from Takuma Inoue early on, and Furuhashi's going to want to turn this into a brawl against the light-hitting Takuma Inoue, who's got all the skill of his older brother, but he didn't inherit that power.
He didn't inherit the power, but he did inherit the quick, explosive shots that he throws. They don't always land heavy. That landed heavy enough. Speed can translate into power, and you're going to see that from him. He's also very patient, and he's a great counter puncher as well.
Yeah, he's adept at dropping his opponents, not always finishing them. It reminds me a little bit of Ivan Calderon, the former 105-pound champion from Puerto Rico, who used to put all his opponents on the deck, but just couldn't finish them.
It's like that sometimes, but you got to go in there. It's hard to get a win in a boxing ring, so you got to use your gifts. You got to play to your strengths, and that's what the young Inoue does. And the patience for Inoue will serve him well because Furuhashi is very awkward. He throws punches from awkward angles. He can be aggressive like you see right here. And the patience will serve Inoue well to be able to get out like he did right there, reset, and try to counter Furuhashi.
As Furuhashi was having success going downstairs with the left hook and then upstairs, it was Inoue who punctuated that combination with a solid counter left.
Good defense right there from Inoue in the pocket, didn't panic, allowed Furuhashi to throw, miss, and then Inoue reset and landed a good 1-2 that you just saw right there.
Oh, nice right uppercut from Furuhashi, who was very patient, as you mentioned, Dre, allowed Furuhashi to come in and made him pay.
Fighting a great counterpuncher is annoying, and it's very scary because every time you make a mistake, they will make you pay.
We saw that precisely in the fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Rolly Romero, where he allowed Rolly to do all the work, and just with one explosive punch, he erased everything that Romero had done all fight.
Yes, he did.
See that lightning quick left hand from Takuma Inoue as the first round comes to a close in Saitama, Japan. Saitama, Japan, 20 kilometers outside of Tokyo, one of the major commercial centers of the greater Tokyo area. But the business at hand tonight is Naoya Inoue, the older brother of Takuma, who's in the ring right now, looking for a repeat performance against Nonito Donaire, who is intent on gaining revenge. And there is Shinjo Inoue, the father of both Takuma and Naoya Inoue, the trainer of both. I can usually help you with translations, but tonight is not one of those evenings.
It's not the night tonight.
What would you like to see in terms of Furuhashi here in round 2?
I think he's doing as best as he possibly can against the skillful counterpuncher in Inoue. I would like to see him throw that jab a little bit more to try to at least blind the younger fighter so he can get in those wild, awkward shots in hopes that maybe he can land one. But staying on the outside for Furuhashi, hesitating, is danger. And he's going to do nothing but get hit by the faster Inoue.
And that's probably the last thing you want to do against such a skilled counterpuncher as Inoue, is give him time to think. You want to smother him. You want to not give him any times to set up the left hook like he did right there.
Right, Furuhashi is not doing that right now. He's not taking the thinking ability away from Inoue. He's doing just what you said. He's allowing the counterpuncher to think, process, and set up great counters.
Furuhashi had a career-defining comeback stoppage win against Yusuke Kuga, where he won the Japanese 122-pound title with a vicious straight right hand. So he's got power. It's just Inoue's not letting him set up to deliver that power. You can see him breathing deep already, Dre, in round 2.
Well, Furuhashi's having to work hard just to be able to get some shots off. And then when he gets to the target, he misses half of the shots that he throws. It's not only discouraging psychologically, but it drains you physically.
Furuhashi keeping his left hand out there as a measuring stick. See the back of Inoue showing a little bit of, I don't know if it's the ropes or the left hook of Furuhashi.
I think it's the rope.
Damage. Yeah, right? There you go. You see exactly where it is on his back, and it is that rope that is causing the damage. He's very comfortable on the ropes as Inoue.
He's getting ready to say that. He's very comfortable there. It's not a place that I like fighters to be, but Inoue seems very comfortable, and so far, he hasn't gotten into any danger.
Nice body work from Furuhashi. There's an answer from Inoue.
Those are the kind of shots that Furuhashi has to continue to throw. He can't get picky about where the shots land. He just has to let the shots go and let them land where they land. They will begin to add up.
Nice triple uppercut from Inoue.
Seamless combination from the young Inoue.
The offensive vocation is part of what's in their blood, Dre. It's just a matter of the power. All went to Naoya. Two rounds in the books here in Saitama, Japan.
Here comes the chosen one. He did it. The streak continues. 16 for 16. How about it? We got a star blossoming in the sport, and his name is Edgar Berlanga.
Our next broadcast will be coming from the Hulu Theater at MSG, and it'll be a big step up for Edgar Berlanga, Andre.
Yes, it will, but it's the right step up. These are the kind of fights that Berlanga needs to continue to prove to himself in the boxing world that he belongs, that he's not just a guy who's a knockout artist, but that he can box, he can take it, and he can dish it out.
3 consecutive decision victories after starting his career with 16 consecutive knockout wins. So Edgar Berlanga will be headlining for the second time. This time it'll be on the Puerto Rican Parade Weekend, which is a special time for any Puerto Rican fighter in New York, following the footsteps of Miguel Angel Cotto, the Hall of Famer. And you see Furuhashi now closing the gap, trying to be on top of Takuma Inoue here as we kick off round 3.
That's where Furuhashi needs to live. He's not the skillful, polished guy. He's the rugged guy that needs to come in there, let his hands go. He's got heavy hands, and Inoue feels those shots, but he has to throw more, and I'm talking about Furuhashi.
Inoue trying to show his strength here in the infighting, landed a nice right uppercut, and now it's Furuhashi who says, I've got that same tool in my tool belt.
That small shot may not have seemed like much, but I'm telling you, those shots begin to add up. And if they land in the right spot, we can see a reaction from Inoue.
What a quick counter from Inoue with that 2-punch combination, making Furuhashi pay after he makes the miss. And now Furuhashi lands a nice overhand right.
Furuhashi is getting caught with shots. He's landing a few shots, but he's making Inoue work very hard right now.
Nice right uppercut from Inoue. We were talking about how Furuhashi was breathing deep there in round number 2. Now it's Inoue who connects a double uppercut. And I mean, he's comfortable anywhere in the ring, it seems, Dre, as long as you're throwing punches.
That's right, but I like what Furuhashi's doing right now. He's taking, but he's also dishing out. He's letting Inoue know you're not going to have your way. Things are not going to go the way you want them to go. I'm going to give you some resistance.
Oh, how about that double uppercut from Takuma Inoue? Then he digs to the body.
But here
Nice
comes
body shot from oh! And then he takes an uppercut and a left hook from Takuma Inoue. And he goes downstairs, and you could just see that both Takuma and Naoya are gifted with the left hook, and that right uppercut from Inoue here doing damage on Furuhashi.
It's unstoppable right now. Furuhashi's making no adjustments. I mean, Inoue is landing 3 and 4 consecutive uppercuts on the chin of Furuhashi, and nothing has dawned on him to get his head out of the way.
The intelligence of Inoue also to go to the body here, because obviously Furuhashi can take a headshot. Inoue only has 3 knockouts in 16 professional fights. He understands who he is, Dre. He's comfortable with his identity.
Yes, but he lands clean shots, he lands crisp shots, and if he lands too many more of those, Furuhashi will go down.
Or get swollen or get cut up. There it is. We talked about getting swollen or cut up, and you see the cut over the right eyelid, Dre, as we take a look at the replays.
Yeah, it's that uppercut that we talked about. That landed on the chin, on the neck of Furuhashi. Stepped around, met him with another left hook, and another half hook, half uppercut. Just some beautiful shots. It doesn't matter that Inoue is not a big, massive one-punch knockout artist. His game is accumulation, quickness, and hitting you with shots that you don't see. If any fighter gets hit flush with a shot they don't see, I don't care who's hitting them, it can hurt you, and it can put you down, and sometimes put you out.
Takuma Inoue definitely adding up points, getting the last instructions from his father, Shinjo Inoue, who's going to have a busy night, not only in the opening bout of our Top Rank Boxing on ESPN fight card from Saitama, but also in the main event, the rematch between Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire. You see the power punches last round. Inoue 22 compared to just 9 from Furuhashi, and you mentioned it, Dre, it doesn't matter who you are, you just cannot allow an opponent to tee off with 22 power shots in any round. And now it's the stick from Inoue, varying his offense.
Furuhashi is the type of guy that's dangerous until this fight is over. I don't care how much you're beating him up. I don't care how much he's busting up. You have to stay alert, and you have to know that he's pressing forward and he's trying to land the one big shot.
Trying to set up that shot there, and now Inoue forced to tie up Furuhashi, and he lands a nice uppercut there as they were in the clinch, and that's just next level experience as he lands a beautiful left, sweeping left hook against Furuhashi as he's walking in.
Furuhashi thought a jab was coming from Inoue, but he psyched him out and he turned it into a hook and it landed flush. Very discouraging if you're Furuhashi.
Look, I can say that Inoue is a light hitter with just 3 knockouts, but he's not handing out caresses in the ring, Dre. He's throwing some solid shots.
Yeah, I'm not sure his knockout percentage really speaks to how heavy those shots are landing, because they sound heavy. I know that can be deceiving sometimes, but I'm looking at the face of Furuhashi, and something is marking that face up, and I think it's the fist of Inoue.
Yeah, it's not Dove soap on the end of that. Man, it's
not at all.
Man, those gloves, they come with some dynamite, and it's just the technique. We talk about if you throw the punches right, they're going to do damage, and Inoue does throw the punches properly, and he just sets everything up perfectly off the counter. Oh, nice.
Because he throws them properly, he lands accurately.
Long right hand from Furuhashi, who's now forcing Inoue to tie up a little bit here in round 4. This is scheduled 12-rounder with a belt on the line. And Furuhashi goes right back to where he wants to be, in the kitchen. pinpoint accuracy from Inoue, but Furuhashi now finding a home for those big power punches in round number 4. Probably his best round of the fight so far. Replay action here, Dre. Beautiful left.
It's the type of clean shots that have been landing all night for Inoue, and I don't know what's keeping Furuhashi up. And not just up, but he's not even taking a backward step. He gets hit, he responds with the body language as if he wants to continue to fight, and that can wear you down. So I want to see how strong the mind is of Inoue, and if he starts to break a little bit as this fight progresses.
That seemed to be Furuhashi's best round of the fight so far, but was it enough to win the round, Dre?
I don't think it was enough to win the round, but I think it was enough to get Inoue's attention and to let him know that Furuhashi is still in this fight.
The numbers bear it out. 12 power punches landed last round. That's a huge departure from the 22 that Inoue was able to land in round number 3. And here goes Furuhashi downstairs on Takuma Inoue.
Thus far, Inoue is getting away with drifting to the corners and drifting to the ropes against Furuhashi. But as he continues to grow and faces tougher competition, that's going to be a problem for him. He's got to learn to feel those ropes and look for the exit. Don't stand there, because good punchers, aggressive guys who don't have good feet, they need you stationary, like you see right here, to get off with both hands. And Inoue doesn't want to let that happen.
A 38-fight veteran in Furuhashi taking uppercuts like they're cookies from Takuma Inoue. Now it's a left hook downstairs, and Furuhashi answers with a right to the solar plexus of Inoue. Oh, what a nice stick from Inoue. Just so much variety in his offense, Dre.
Yes, it is. You see glimpses of his brother, and he doesn't have quite the same explosiveness like you mentioned, but he has the arsenal and he has the IQ.
They say iron sharpens iron, and those gym sessions with Shinjo, their father, must be something to behold. As you see the uppercuts of Takuma Inoue once again do damage on Furuhashi. Oh, short right in the left hook that shakes the head of Furuhashi.
Furuhashi takes a deep breath and marches forward.
Lands finally one out of those 4 shots, which was the last of those right hands. So far, the numbers don't add up for Furuhashi as he tries to go downstairs. Corner doing a great job on that cut, Dre.
Keeping it a non-story thus far in this fight, and that's what Furuhashi needs. He's got a lot of problems on his hands in Inoue, and he doesn't need a cut to hamper him any more than he's already hampered.
Shosei Nida is the cut man for Gakuya Furuhashi. Oh, what a way to create space and land an uppercut from Takuma Inoue. Furuhashi tries to answer. Inoue coming back with more. Drama in Saitama. We have the first Inoue Takuma in the ring right now in our opening bout against Gakuya Furuhashi. But our main event will feature Naoya Inoue taking on Nonito Donaire in a rematch of the 2019 fight of the year. Almost 3 years, Dre, 31 months since they last fought. Is that too long?
I think it's just right. I mean, you would love for those guys to run it right back from a fan standpoint and selfishly, but both fighters took a lot of punishment. They went their separate routes and they naturally came back together, and I think it's going to be another great fight and another great night for these two men.
Round 6 of a scheduled 12-round fight. Takuma Inoue taking on Gakuya Furuhashi. Bernardo Osuna alongside Hall of Famer Andre Ward. Fun fight.
This is one of those fights, if you're Inoue, that you're dominating, but it's not easy. Good body shot right there. Another good body shot from Inoue. That's how you get the attention of Furuhashi, a guy that you've hit with everything to the head. Try to go downstairs to see if he can take the body shots.
That's always a good test, because most guys can take a shot to the head, but it's those body shots that really determine how much of a shot you can take. We saw it with Nonito Donaire against Naoya Inoue in the first fight. Nice double uppercut from Inoue here.
I don't know too many guys that can take it to the head and to the body, Bernardo, so you're absolutely right.
Ooh. First warning here from referee Toshio Sugiyama. Low blow from Furuhashi. See if Furuhashi can take advantage of that low blow that he landed on Inoue to slow him down. Then lands another one on the belt line with the right.
Inoue has to learn to get out of those corners and off the ropes before he gets hit with 2 or 3 shots, because those shots drain you. And it doesn't mean the end of the fight, but it means that it'll start to take energy from you that you don't have to give up. Inoue doesn't like to get off those ropes and to spin out into the center of the ring until he gets hit with 2 or 3 shots. He's got to learn from that and make that adjustment. Furuhashi is taking full advantage. Inoue seems to want a breather and is not as offensive as he has been in the previous 5 rounds. So Furuhashi is punching himself.
Wow, look at the face of Furuhashi. You can tell he's been in a fight here, and we're almost approaching the halfway point.
Furuhashi's a 38-fight veteran. He's used to taking and dishing. Nothing new for him.
Takuma's brother Naoya Inoue can best be described as 1,800 pounds of pure dynamite, ready to detonate on any man with the courage to step in the ring with him. It's a gift that's turned him into a monster.
Power is a gift. It's a gift from God. And I'm not even a religious man, but that power comes someplace from deep inside. Either you have it or you don't. You can teach boxing, you can teach how to throw a jab, but you can't teach power.
I've seen the biggest, most muscular guys that do all type of strength and conditioning workouts that can't put people down like that.
To have power in your hands like that, it's relegated to the big guys. When you're that small, you're not supposed to have that much power.
And we're seeing it inside the ring with Takuma Inoue, the younger brother of Naoya Inoue, who is a fighter who's got the same skill set, Dre, but not the same power. And it just goes to illustrate how special Naoya Inoue really is.
Yeah, he's different. And he's skillful and he's powerful. And it's not just the end of a fight and how he finishes the fight. It's how he sets it up. It's everything he does before the power lands for me that gets me excited to see him fight.
94-57 connect advantage for Takuma Inoue. At 51%, you see the efficiency of Takuma as he lands a nice double left hook to the head first and down, bringing it downstairs. the first two fights, you will see open scoring. So after the first 5 rounds, we had a clean sweep in favor of Takuma Inoue. So we asked if round 4 had Furuhashi done enough, Dre. Apparently not to win it. But he's doing it here and coming forward. Dre, what are your thoughts on open scoring?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to know if I'm up or if I'm down. I like it the way that it's always been. I want to be able to try to sense and feel where I'm at, and that helps me to stay focused. I think knowing what the score is in the middle of a fight can be a distraction for me, but maybe not for some other guys.
Referee Toshio Sugiyama separates them as Takuma Inoue takes a second low blow. First one happened at round number 6. This time it seemed to be a little bit more severe, so he gave him some time to recover. I agree with you, Dre. I mean, now Furuhashi knows he's down 5 rounds to none, and we're at round number 7. He's going to continue to press. It's who he is, but I don't think it adds anything.
I mean, Furuhashi might have thought he won a round or 2. And then you just dashed his hopes by telling him he lost every second of every round.
Yeah, absolutely. Now he probably just thinks, I got one chance, and that's to knock out Inoue. He's trying to do that with the right hand, going downstairs once again, gets caught with a nice uppercut from Inoue. First it was a right uppercut, then a left.
Furuhashi just has to keep chopping. He has to keep punching. He has to stay encouraged as much as he can, even though he's taking a lot of leather and taking a lot of punishment. He has to continue to press if he's going to make something happen in this fight against Inoue.
I'm really impressed by Takuma Inoue's variety in punching. He's not predictable at all. You don't know if he's going to stick that jab in there, he's going to turn it into a short left hook, or just punish you with uppercuts as you come in.
Yeah, love the arsenal, like we said early on, and he's continuing to show that he has more in his arsenal. He's throwing lead shots, he's setting shots up. He's predictable even though he's fundamentally unpredictable, even though he's fundamentally sound.
Yeah, sometimes we go with, if someone's unpredictable, it's because they're awkward. And no, it's that Takuma Inoue is in control at every moment.
That's right. See Inoue doing what he's been doing all night, which is staying on the rope, setting shots up, and allowing the hard-charging Furuhashi to reach so Inoue could teach. And he is taught primarily with that uppercut tonight. We see great defense right there on the ropes. He's breaking some rules. Good boxers are not supposed to have their back to the rope, but if you can get away with it, it's hard to have an argument against it.
Reminded me when we saw a 6'9" guy do it in Vegas.
Tyson Fury.
Yes, sir. Just that rolling and with those punches and letting them bounce off of your shoulder if they even make any contact. It's pretty impressive what Inoue is able to do in that close distance. A lot of guys can be that effective, Dre, from the outside when they see those punches coming. He's got great reflexes even when he's really in close.
Just speaks to how poised he is under fire, and that's what you want to see. He's been under fire even though he's dominating this fight the whole night. And he hasn't shown any mental weakness. He hasn't shown that he's wilting physically. And this is what you want to see from a fighter who is as skilled as Inoue.
A 45 punches connected advantage over Gakuya Furuhashi through the first 7 rounds. There's going to be another warning. Now it's for leading with a head. Furuhashi, you can see the frustration starting to mount as he now gets clipped by Inoue's left hook to the body. Those liver shots, Dre, they'll remind you that you're in a fight.
Yes, and they begin to add up. And you get hit in that same spot late in the fight, and you wonder how you got on the canvas. Both fighters answering each other with liver shots right there.
Now we've seen how sometimes when you get caught with a liver shot, all of a sudden you remember how much that hurt.
Yes.
And you say, well, let me give you one of those, because
it reminds you, yes, throw it to the body.
There, Furuhashi trying to do that as he gets Naoya up against the ropes.
Yeah, I just think those are unnecessary dead spots from Inoue, and they have to go back and correct that if he is going to be a guy that can contend for a championship one day, because there are guys you can do that with, and there are some guys you can't. And one day, Inoue will run into the guy that's going to give him trouble when his back is to the ropes.
Yeah, you can't do that against Steve Fulton or MJ Akhmadaliev, the titleist at 122 pounds. But if you have that kind of uppercut game, it's just pretty impressive that Furuhashi just keeps coming forward.
Toughness and grit is one of the gifts of Furuhashi, and we're seeing it on display in this fight tonight.
Nice body shot from Furuhashi. Dre, Inoue's physically strong in there because Furuhashi has not been able to push him back, especially when they get in those clinches.
Yeah, he's shown himself well to be physically strong in this fight, and he's going to need it. He's going to have to continue to build up his physical strength because he's a good boxer. So this is how guys are going to try to fight him. They're going to try to press forward, walk through his shots because he's not a big puncher, and try to wear him down.
But if you continue to land those vicious uppercuts, that's going to make guys think before they just come in there. Trying to make it an easy target of Takuma Inoue. One of the beautiful temples in Tokyo, Japan, and everyone dreams of greatness. And to be great, you have to have a title. And that's where we see the champions at 118 pounds. Naoya Inoue, number 2, number 3, pound for pound in the world consensus. Nonito Donaire has the WBC belt at bantamweight, and John Rio Casimiro, or now it's actually Paul Butler, who has that WBO belt after all the drama that happened with the stripping of the title. But nonetheless, we could have an undisputed title fight by the end of the year, depending on how things happen in Saitama, Japan. And Dre, it's a talent-laden division. And just to think that Takuma Inoue was ranked at 118 pounds, fought for the title against Ubali, but had to move up because, simply put, he can't fight his brother for the belts.
Right. We're having more and more undisputed champions, especially as of late, and that is what both fighters tonight in our main event, Inoue and Donaire, are after, but they have to get through the other one to get to that goal.
Yeah, we were asking Nonito Donaire about the comment that Naoya Inoue made in saying that he saw him as a stepping stone towards the undisputed title, and Nonito said, I don't take offense to that. I look at him in the same exact way.
That's right.
Oh, what a nice combination from Takuma Inoue as Furuhashi is bewildered and chasing here in round 9.
Beautiful combination from Inoue, then he casually takes a walk around the block.
Ooh. And then says, here's a stick. Remember, this is the easiest punch to land in boxing, one of the most underrated, but I watched Devin Haney do his magic against Kambosos. Let me put it out there against you, Furuhashi.
I don't think I've ever seen a fighter land consecutive uppercuts as often as Inoue has done in this fight.
Absolutely. You see Furuhashi using his forearm to push back Inoue. He didn't like it much. Let's see what he does about it. Inoue has a great sense of distance. He knows when he's in range for danger and when he's just millimeters away from Furuhashi's punches.
Good shot right there. Good right hand to the body from Furuhashi.
This fight's not happening in the bubble, Dre, but it's the culture of the Japanese, very polite, Imagine if this fight was taking place at the StubHub Center, how different the sounds would be.
Very, very different crowd in Japan. We saw that when Mike Tyson fought Buster Douglas. I mean, this is, you know, the upset of the century, and nobody's saying anything. Everybody's respectfully watching.
I think everybody was stunned to see
And stunned and
fall
shocked
on
as
the
well.
floor,
Yeah.
right?
Combination of both.
Shock and awe.
Have to respect the fight in Furuhashi. He is being outclassed and beaten in every round, but he is not quit yet.
Furuhashi had that career-defining knockout against Yusuke Kuga that happened in the 9th round, and he's going to have to come up with something special in the last 3 rounds of this fight, Dre.
Yes, he is. And you feel like he's done everything that he has to do, and he doesn't have anything else to show, but this is boxing. And one punch can change everything, and Furuhashi is hoping and praying that he can get that punch through.
Round 10 of a scheduled 12-round title fight. Bernardo Osuna alongside Hall of Famer Andre Ward, and you see the difference, 127 to 94 punches landed through the first 10 rounds. And Dre, it seems like an even wider gap based on the efficiency that we've seen from Inoue.
It does, and sometimes the numbers don't tell the complete story. But again, Furuhashi is still pressing forward, and Inoue has to stay focused because anything can happen in this fight.
Furuhashi trying to close the gap, and he gets clipped by a nice right cross from Takuma Inoue.
And a left hook, a left uppercut for good measure.
We should have a left uppercut count from Inoue tonight, because it's just been an impressive display of both uppercuts really landing on
left
Furuhashi.
and right uppercut, absolutely. Next time we call one of his fights, we need to have an uppercut count.
Yeah, just on the bottom right. Bing, bing, bing.
It's a good right hand right there from Furuhashi that got the attention of Inoue. He shook his head and kind of shook that shot off. That's what you're looking for if you're Furuhashi.
Furuhashi lands a nice right uppercut as well after landing an overhand right.
Inoue barely gets hit when he's in the center of the ring. 90% of the time, he gets hit when his back is against the ropes or he's in the corner.
Ooh, what a nice counter left from Inoue. Furuhashi trying to sell out here in the final 7 minutes of this fight. And he lands a nice left hook, does Furuhashi, as Inoue pushes him back and counters with a beautiful right hand.
Inoue needs to be smart in these exchanges. He's up big in this fight. I'm not saying don't close the fight, but he doesn't need to get in unnecessary exchanges with a guy who has nothing to lose.
Inoue looking up at that clock. The last 30 seconds are going to seem like a long time here.
Oh, yes, it
round
is.
Number 10. Ooh, nice jab, but Furuhashi trying to come on, and he's making Inoue work here in the 10th round.
This might be the first round that Furuhashi won in this fight.
Yeah, probably his best round since the 4th round, which was the one that I asked you, did he do enough to win? This one, he may finally have taken the 10 points. June kicks off with a great show in Saitama, and then we'll be going over to the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden. June 11th, it's Edgar Berlanga taking a huge step up in competition against Alexis Angulo, a man who has only been stopped in beaten in world title fights by Zurdo Ramirez and David Benavidez. Then on June 18th, it's a triple light heavyweight unification between Artur Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr., all with their sights set on Dimitri Bivol and having an undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. This is a division you know well, Dre. A fight that we can expect fireworks, maybe not lasting the distance between Beterbiev and Joe Smith.
I can't see that fight going the distance no matter how I look at it. This is going to be a great fight. I think Joe Smith can do some different things, maybe a little bit more than Beterbiev, but neither guy is safe during that fight. Both guys are extremely dangerous.
Artur Beterbiev with that 100% knockout rate. We're in the championship rounds, and the crowd acknowledges that for Inoue and Furuhashi here. Last round, it was a close round in terms of punches landed, but it was the efficiency and the power behind Furuhashi's punches that we think gave him that round. Nice double uppercut from Inoue. Nice body shot from Furuhashi, a strafing left hook. Now it's Inoue digging downstairs.
Nice shot right there from Inoue. He threw a waist uppercut. He didn't really want to land it. The left hook to the body that you saw and heard is the shot that he really wanted.
Yeah, then he sets up a short left hook, right cross combination.
And that's what a good body attack will do. It will leave the head wide open.
Inoue dialing in on that right hand, trying to set up Furuhashi here in round 11, but it's dangerous because Furuhashi's got nothing to lose, knowing he's down on the cards. Right uppercut again. Haven't said that enough tonight. Inoue doing well to tie up Furuhashi. Body work from Gakuya Furuhashi here in round 11. Inoue keeps looking up at that clock, Dre.
That means he's ready for this fight to be over. Not the round, the fight.
Yeah. He's still got 3 minutes and 40 seconds left of having to deal with Furuhashi.
He better focus solely on Furuhashi. Let the clock run out on its own.
See the average length of bouts, Inoue 8.6, and Furuhashi well beyond his 6.1 rounds fought. Right uppercut from Furuhashi. There's always something coming back from Takuma Inoue. The bonus is that we get to see the skill of Takuma Inoue to start off this fight card. But tonight, we're all here to see Naoya Inoue, the monster, against Nonito Donaire.
This is a can't-miss fight. It's a fantastic fight for the fight fans. The speed, the power, the pressure. This guy is real.
Donaire, whose left hook is as vicious as it's ever been. I think both will have to be on top of their game to come away with the victory.
These guys are bringing it back for a second time.
Takuma Inoue's big brother, Naoya Inoue, will be our headliner tonight. In that red corner, Shinjo Inoue, the father and trainer of both Inoue brothers, putting in work. That was in the corner of Gakuya Furuhashi, preparing him for round 12, and finally, a well-earned round of applause as round 12 starts here between Takuma Inoue, who has a 30-punch advantage going into the final round, and the numbers bear out a very dominant, probably 10-1 advantage in favor of Inoue.
There's no need for Inoue to try to prove anything in this last round. I think he needs to box and be smart, continue to frustrate Furuhashi, and go home with the win.
Oh, nice body shot from Inoue. Furuhashi coming back with leather of his own. And Dre, as lopsided as the scorecards are probably going to be, this is as entertaining a dominant fight as you're going to see.
It is, and I just got a lot of respect for the way Furuhashi is going about his craft tonight, because he could easily go into a shell and not quit, but quit. And he never stopped trying to win in this fight, and you have to respect that. And Inoue, even though he's the more skillful fighter, he's shown extreme toughness as well, because he's been pressed round in and round out. He's been hit with some big shots, and he's answered the call every time. No shortage of toughness, grit, and heart from both of these men in this fight tonight.
Absolutely. That blood flowing from the right eyelid of Gakuya Furuhashi, but his cut, man, Shosei Nida doing a wonderful job, as looked like Furuhashi was almost through the ropes as the referee stepped in to separate him from Inoue. Nice double uppercut from Takuma Inoue. You know, sometimes we talk to the fighters about what they've been working on, Dre, and I would have to say that Inoue probably had been working on that uppercut in this camp.
He had to be. He had to be, because it's landing too clean, too crisp, and too often.
And you talk about Inoue reading the room properly. You see how Furuhashi leans in and sets himself up for the uppercut, Dre? We see this all the time, and we see fighters not take advantage of that. So we got to give Inoue credit for reading the fight properly and taking what his opponent gives him.
Great instincts and great feel on the inside. Sometimes you don't see openings, you feel the opening. And Inoue feels his opponent leaning forward, like you said, and he's been taking full advantage.
20 seconds left here in what has been an entertaining 12-round scrap. Furuhashi still going to the body, still taking Inoue's best shots, and deservedly so. Both of these fighters will hear the final bell in what should be a pretty one-sided victory in favor of Takuma Inoue on the undercard of his older brother, Naoya. And you see the respect, Dre, between two Japanese warriors in the ring.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it from both guys. Much respect to both combatants tonight.
All right, Dre. I didn't produce this, but I think there's going to be some uppercuts in our highlight package.
There might be. There we see right there the left hook from Furuhashi. Another left hook. Excuse me, another left uppercut. Just 3 in a row. And he looked to get a 4th one, but he just couldn't get it. And then he would go to the right side. Boom, right uppercut. Step to the side, beautiful footwork. Another left hook for good measure. Followed up with another half hook, half uppercut from Inoue. Just great instincts, great arsenal, great feel on the inside. And he's taking advantage of all the mistakes that Furuhashi is making. If you want to lean forward, I'm going to rip you with an uppercut. If your feet are slow and you're standing still, I'm going to step around you and make you pay. I'm not just going to beat you up physically, I'm going to beat you up mentally and psychologically. So Furuhashi, even though he didn't stop trying to win, even though he continued to fight until the final bell, he's got a lot to go home and think about. He's got to heal up physically, like I said. He's got to go home and heal up psychologically and figure out what happened in that ring and why didn't I have any answers. Well, he didn't have any answers because it was too much speed, too much IQ, too much pop from the younger Inoue, and too much skill, Bernardo. Just too much of everything from the young fighter tonight.
And you mentioned it earlier in the fight, Dre, that he was going to try not only physically, but emotionally break him. Let's get the decision.
WBO アジアパシフィックスーパーバンタム級、そして日本スーパーバンタム級新チャンピオン、井上拓真。
He defeats Gakuya. Furuhashi improving to 16-1, just 3 knockouts. But Dre, you can tell that this young man is talented. He's got